So in this, I'll be talking about network configuration on Linux. So a bit about network configuration on Linux. Involves setting up network interface, assigning IP addresses, configuring DNS settings, setting up routing tables, and I'll be talking about the basic steps for network configuration on your Linux. But how do you find your configuration on Linux? It should be inside your etc system config, which has inside sysconfig network script directory. So just use the absolute path, copy paste this, and cd into it, and you should be able to see it. But the basic steps for configuring on Linux is, well, one, network interface. Now, Linux uses the ifconfig, ifconfig command to configure network interface. The ifconfig command allows you to view configure network interface on the system. For example, ifconfig, right? Use the command ifconfig ETH0 up. Will bring up the interface named eth0. Here, running the command f0 up or f up will turn on the Internet 0 interface on your device. So another step is the IP address. To assign an IP address to a network interface, you can use the ifconfig command, once again, with the IP option followed by the IP address. So ifconfig followed by IP, which you need to include your IP address and network mask. For example, let's go with it Internet 0 with 192.168.1.2 network net mask 255.0.255.0.255.0.2. We'll assign the IP address of 192.168.1.2 to the internet. 0 with the network of 255.255.255.0. Hopefully that made sense. So use the ifconfig, it's 0, pass the IP following with your IP address. This is a sample, but you are able to pass the IP address and enter your own IP address and a netmask. Another thing is within the configuration basic steps is DNS. So DNS settings. Now, what is DNS? Domain name system. It is setting that can be configured by editing etc resolv.conf within the Linux file. And this file contains the IP addresses of DNS servers that the system should use for the name resolution. For example, name server, let's say uh, name server 808.8.8. We'll set the DNS server to 8.8.8. As you can see, 8.8.8.8 is the primary DNS server for Google DNS. And as I say, DNS is a public server. Google DNS is a public DNS server that is provided by Google with aim to make the internet and DNS system faster, safer, secure, and more reliable for all internet users. Uh, so another thing within the configuration is routing. Uh, Linux network. So Linux uses the route command to view and configure routing tables. The routing table is used to reduce the best path for packets to take them without the data between different networks. For example, you can use the command uh, route add default GW012.168.0.101. When I meant zero, I mean dot. We'll add a default route to the routing table with the gateway IP address of 102.168.1.1. Um, so it will add the default routing to the routing table with the gateway address, IP address that we provided. And final thing within our configuration uh, of the basics steps is network management. Network management is a GUI, graphical user interface based, that is a tool that could help be used to configure network settings on the Linux. Where's the images? Yeah, and it provides a simple way to manage network interface, wireless network, the VPN, and other network-related settings. As we discussed in our previous videos, uh, LAN, PAN, VLAN, and uh, and more. Um, so those are just few of the basic steps for network configuration on the Linux. By understanding these concepts, you can configure network settings on your Linux system and troubleshoot networking issues.